If you are looking for Halloween games, here are 15 Halloween minute-to-win-it games for you. Hey there, I'm Brittany Flammer, a financial coach with videos all about budgeting and money-saving tips for you and your family. Now, I love minute-to-win-it games because they're great for all ages, from young kids to adults, and for all different size groups. You can compete individually, or you can divide up into teams and compete that way. You can alter almost all the games to use what you have on hand already, and all of the games that I am sharing with you today are ones that require little to no preparation. So basically, they're quick, cheap, and easy. If you're interested in minute-to-win games for other holidays, check out my video at the end. I'll have it playing right up there. For Draculas Pie, you will need Dracula teeth, whipped cream, and paper plates. Now you fill up the paper plates with whipped cream. Everyone wears their Dracula teeth, and you have to eat the whipped cream without using your hands. The first person done wins, or the person with the most in 60 seconds wins. If you don't want players to use their hands, I would recommend taping the plates to the table so they don't pop up. For the spider race, you will need 1 straw and 1 plastic spider per person playing. And the point is to blow through the straw to get the spider across the table. First person to the end first wins, or the person that gets the furthest in 60 seconds. If you don't want kids climbing all over your table, you could do this on any hard surface. The floor would be ideal. Just use tape to mark the start and finish line. For the pumpkin ring toss, you will need a variety of pumpkins. Doesn't matter how big, as long as they have stems, and pool rings. Now, the point is to toss the rings, and the person or team that gets the most rings on a pumpkin or on the stem wins. We did not have rings, so we made paper plate rings. Now, our paper rings did not work very well. We had to scoot really close to try to get to the pumpkins. So using pool rings would be better. Or one other variation, you could take rubber bands and just shoot at the pumpkins and get a point for everyone that hits. For ghost stack, you will need a bunch of white cups, or if you don't have white, you can use orange. And we drew ghost faces on them, and the players try to stack the ghosts up into a pyramid. And then when they're all done, they take the stack down. The first person to finish wins, or the person that gets the furthest in 60 seconds. They are only supposed to use 1 hand, but for our younger kids, we let them use 2. A variation of this is you could start with the ghosts already stacked, have them take it down, and then put it back up in the same order. Or if you can find orange cups, you can do a jack-o'-lantern stack. You could even draw a jack-o'-lantern face on it and have them set it up in the correct order to show the jack-o'-lantern face. For balancing broomsticks, you'll need 1 popsicle stick per person and a bunch of candy. You stick the popsicle stick in your mouth, and then you try to, just using 1 hand, balance as much candy on your broomstick as possible. And you are only allowed to use 1 hand. We had to remind our kids of that a few times. Smaller popsicle sticks, the narrower ones, would make this harder. Also, just having more candy on hand. I had more pumpkins on hand, but some of my kids ate them, so we just used what we had, but it would have been harder if they had more. They could have kept stacking. For bones in a bag, you'll need a bunch of paper bags and then fake bones or just pieces of candy to represent the bones. Place a different number of bones in each bag, fold it over so you can't see how many are in it, and then the players have to, just shaking them, they have to guess and put them in order from least number of bones to the most. The person that does it first. I got these styrofoam bones from our local Dollar Tree, but really you could use anything. Candy that you're using from some of the other games would be ideal, or even finding pebbles from your yard. You can use pretty much whatever you have on hand. This was probably my kids' least favorite of all of the games, but I think they'd have enjoyed it more had there been candy in it instead of bones. To play chocolate transfer, you will need 2 paper plates per player, small candy pieces, and 1 straw per person. You start with all of the candy on one plate and use the straw to transfer the candy to the other plate. The person or the team that gets the most candy transferred in 60 seconds is the winner. For pumpkin bowling, you'll need some toilet paper rolls. I recommend the individually wrapped ones, and some small pumpkins to bowl with. You stack up the toilet paper in a pyramid and roll the small pumpkins like a bowling ball, and the team that gets the most knocked over is the winner. If you'd like another variation, you can just use the cups you used in the ghost stack. That's a little bit easier, especially for younger kids. For spider sling, you'll need some of the fake spider webs and some plastic spiders. The teams will toss the spiders, supposedly just using 1 hand, and the team that gets the most stuck up there wins. For the pumpkin run, you will just need one small pumpkin per person playing the game. You stick it on your head, and without using your hands, you go around the obstacle course, and if it falls off of your head, you have to start back over at the beginning. Now, we didn't create an obstacle course, we just had them go around our trampoline and then around our flower bed, but if you were indoors, you could just create any sort of obstacle course in your living room or kitchen or wherever. And we also let them use their hands because the small pumpkins kept falling off. For Cauldron Tasks, you will need 2 cauldrons, or we just use bowls per team, and some candy to go in it. You start with all of the candy in one bowl and try to toss it to an empty bowl with someone on your team, and the team that gets the most candy in within 60 seconds is the winning team. For Trick or Eat, you need a bunch of Hershey's Kisses or just individually wrapped candy and some small Halloween stickers. You take the candy, and on some of the pieces you will stick one of your Halloween stickers on the bottom and leave some blank. To play, each team will play one-handed. They'll lift up a piece of candy. If it's blank, they set it back down. If it has a sticker on it, then they have to eat it, and they can only use one hand to eat it. Once they are done eating, they can go to the next piece of candy, and the team or the person with the most candy eaten in 60 seconds wins. For Monster Golf, you'll need a candy bucket, a golf club, and golf balls, or we use ping pong balls because we didn't want our windows broken inside our house. You line up the golf balls and try to swing it into the bucket that's taped to the floor. We ended up getting rid of the bucket or our bat and just rolling the ping pong balls in because that was easier for us, but really either would work. For Mouthful of Dirt, you need a bowl or bucket per person, pinto beans, some plastic spiders, and 1 spoon per person. You fill the bowls or your bucket with the dirt, the beans, and with the spiders. You stick the spoon in your mouth, and using only the spoon, you try to pull out all of the spiders without pulling out the dirt. The deep bowl is a lot harder. So if you want to make it a little bit easier, using the shallower bowl would be easier. So next time I probably would not use a bucket. I would just use a bowl. Also, one way to make it more challenging is to penalize them for pulling out dirt. So at the end, you count up all the spiders, and then for every pinto bean or piece of dirt that they also pull out, you'll subtract a spider from them. For Pumpkinhead, you'll need a jack-o'-lantern with the top off, or we substituted with bowls, and a bunch of popcorn. You try to toss the popcorn into your jack-o'-lantern or into your bowls, and the person or team that has the most in after 60 seconds is the winner. Now, if you want to make it a little bit easier for younger kids, you can just use a larger bowl, or you could just have them scoot closer to the bowl. Now, this is supposed to be done in a pumpkin that you've carved and taken the top off, but if we did that now, it would go rotten before Halloween, so we just used a bucket and it worked great, and that's probably what I would use in the future. If you want other Minute to Win It games for all different holidays, check out the video right up there. Otherwise, thanks so much for watching. Check out my other videos all about budgeting, and I will see you in the next video.